If you're spending hours and hours trying to find just a few profitable products while you're sourcing for Amazon arbitrage or wholesale business, then you're doing it wrong. Now, today I'm going to be going through one simple method that you can use to speed up your sourcing process to find multiple profitable products in 30 minutes or less. Now, we're actually going to be doing this utilizing the Keepa data product finder and then using some of the filters that we can put into there to help us pull back a list of ASINs that could potentially be profitable. Now, we won't know if they're profitable because we're going to be finding the ASINs first, or the products on Amazon first, and then we're going to go out and try to find the suppliers for those products to see if they are profitable. With this, one method will significantly impact or drastically reduce the amount of time that you're spending on your normal sourcing processes. And then with the Keepa Data Product Finder, there are 1,000,001 different ways that you can utilize this information, utilize the products you're finding, the competitors that come up from there, the suppliers, the different brands you learn about, and you can filter them all back into Keepa. Now, before we actually get into it, if you don't know who I am, my name's Jimmy Smith, and I've built and scaled multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses online. I've trained thousands of other sellers to do the same, and I've done this since 2015. And I do these videos because I want to help those seeking financial freedom to make online selling simple. And I know that starting out with Amazon arbitrage specifically can be kind of a slow path, but once that light bulb clicks for most people, that's when you start to see some really good growth. And so it's more about pushing through the uncomfortable parts of learning about sourcing. And then once you finally get something that starts to work for you, you'll be motivated, you'll be excited, and you'll continue to double down on that so you can grow and scale your business. So let's go ahead and get into this. So inside of Keepa, you do need to keep a subscription to do this. The subscription is around $20, $25 per month or so. It's an international company, so there are exchange rates and other things that go into it. But ultimately, I don't have an affiliation with Keepa in any way, and so I want to make sure that you know that. It is the one tool, though, that if I had to select one tool to use, I would use Keepa. So go to keepa.com after you've got your subscription, click on data here, and we're going to click on product finder. Now, there's a lot of information in this data section that we could use, but specifically for this, I want to use the product finder. Now, in taking a look at this, you can see that Keepa gives us the ability to put in a lot of information to pull back specific products on Amazon, or at least ASINs that are on Amazon that match those criteria. So I love that, right? I can actually take a look at this and say that I want to see anything where Amazon is out of stock on the listing. And whenever I do that, that pulls back 708 million products where Amazon is out of stock. Keepa has over 1 billion products, I believe, that they're able to pull back data on, which is crazy. If you think about just the ones where Amazon's out of stock, that's 708 million products. If I then go into here and put 1 cent as a minimum, so that means Amazon's in stock on products, there's 157 million products that Amazon is in stock on. So just that alone, it's over 850 million ASINs where either Amazon is out of stock on the listing currently or they're priced above 1 penny. So there's a lot of products on Amazon that we can go through, and we're just trying to find a few hundred over the length of our business to grow and scale a good business. And we're just trying to find 1 or 2 or 5 in a day. Think about the possibilities. 850 plus million products on Amazon, and we're just trying to find a few. That's doable, right? And so Keepa allows us to filter down the products that we're looking for. Now, specifically, you can use any of the trainings that I have done on YouTube, or any of the courses and stuff that I do. You can utilize brand searches. You can utilize private label brands that are from stores like Michael's or Walmart or Target or Lowe's or Home Depot, and you can start to look for those items. You can look for regional products in your own area that aren't going to typically be on Amazon. You can just also look for any product that you can buy low from one store and sell higher on Amazon. So let's start to take a look. Now, I'm specifically going to use more of a niche sourcing method. I'm actually just going to start with yarn, okay? Now, I don't know what kind of yarn is going to come up. I did not do this ahead of time. I just clicked record and started going with this idea of let's just look at yarn, all right? So inside of Keepa, we can put anything in the title field. And so I want to find products that have the word yarn in them. Now, whenever you do that, you may get yarn, knitting, needles, and other things as well. So we've got 584,000 products that pull back with just the word yarn in the title. They may be in stock, they may be out of stock, etc. One thing that I want to do here is also make sure that Amazon's currently out of stock, that they aren't selling it, and that only brought us down to 555,000 products. All right, now the next thing I want to do is look for anything with a new price where the sellers are on the listing with over $15 of a price point. And so now we're down to 141,000 products where Amazon's out of stock, the title has the word yarn in it, and the price is above $15 currently. This is a very basic filter that you can start to use, and we can set up other things that will help us find faster moving ASINs. We could even utilize some of these other drop percentages to find things with increasing prices and decreasing sellers. Literally millions of ways to set up these different parameters to find the right products selling on Amazon using Keepa. But let's just continue down this path. I'm trying to get this down to under a few hundred probably. So that way, if I were to source for any length of time, I would just go through all of that list. Now, if you get it down under 5 or 10, then that makes it even quicker for the video. So we're just going to go through this path. I'm going to leave yarn here. I'm also going to do is one of, and I'm going to select arts and crafts category. You don't have to do that, but I want to see if that changes anything. Brings us down from 141,000 to 93,000 products. The reason I'm using arts and crafts and yarn is because it's ungated for new sellers. And so if you're a newer seller, you don't have to worry about being gated in that category. It's open. You may be gated in certain brands that you can't sell, but ultimately this category is open. And so we're going to utilize that for this video. Now, the next thing I want to do, and this isn't a hard and fast rule, but I want to make sure that across the board, we're looking at the new offer count, which means the amount of sellers that are new on the listing. We're going to look to make sure that there's at least 3 sellers on these listings across the board. So that way it shows that it's got some consistency in sellers, but we're not dealing with a private label product. And I believe we were at around 93,000 products, and now we're down to 1,700. Okay, that's a very big difference. Now, the reason is because of private label sellers and exclusive wholesale sellers, but to have 1,700 products, we're going to continue to filter that down to find more opportunities. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the count of retrieved live offers for new FBA. And the reason is because if we're trying to arbitrage a product, we're buying it from a store and selling it on Amazon, having multiple FBA sellers kind of indicates that there's a good opportunity either for wholesale, where you can buy it from a distributor that may be open, or that there's a retail buying opportunity, because if multiple FBA sellers are on there, that means multiple FBA sellers had the ability to buy this product. So I'm actually going to do something. I want to see how big it changes this. I don't always use the new FBA, but for videos like this on YouTube, I like to do it because it can sometimes speed up results. So I'm going to put 4 in there and just see what happens. There's 129 products with 4 FBA sellers on there currently. This is retrieved live offers. This is not historically. The new offer count up here has a historical average that we're using, but this is a current amount of FBA sellers. So we're just going to use 4 for this video. Again, you don't have to do it. I'm significantly limiting the amount of products that pull back just so that I can try to find, some quick products that we can look at. But if I were actually sourcing for my business, I probably wouldn't use 4. I would use other filters that would help me to limit the ASIN size, the product amounts, so that way I could find the right products without reducing things that may have 2 FBA sellers or no FBA sellers that then I could sell on. Or even in some cases, if it's completely out of stock, it could be a great ASIN, right? So this is just an example of one of the many different systems that I use in my business and that I teach other people to use as well. Now, if we continue to scroll down here, I also want to make sure, now since Amazon's out of stock, we probably won't have a huge difference, but there is a 90 days out of stock percentage here. I like to make sure Amazon's at least 60% or more out of stock on this listing. And so you can see that didn't change anything on the products. We still have 129. The next thing you can use, you can either use sales rank drops if you'd like. Now, sales rank drops will not really indicate the amount of sales, but it can in some cases indicate velocity. It's not perfect, but it is a good way to reduce that amount to say, hey, I want to see any that have over 10 sales rank drops in the last 30 days. The sales rank is something that fluctuates all the time, really hourly. And so this could help find some fast moving products, but it could also remove some products that could be good otherwise. Another way you could have done this, if I take out the sales rank drops, we are back to 129 there. I could use bought in the past month, and this filter only allows me to put a minimum of 50 here. If it's under 50, Amazon doesn't give that data. But if it's over 50 sales in the last month, then Amazon does give the data on some ASINs, not on all of them. So you can see we're playing around with these filters can help you tremendously. If I do 50 here, now we've got 29 products that sold over 50 times in the last month. I'm just going to use this because of the video purpose, but you could use the sales rank drops. You could go back up to the top here and use the sales rank numbers and look at averages to find stable sales ranks or faster moving products. You can use drop percentages, etc. Just trying to show you just kind of the basic thought process here. Now, let's see what pulls back for things selling over 50 times a month. Ultimately, we may find some good stuff. We may not. And so you can see here, I've got the new offer count in this column. And so we've got 26, we've got 8 sellers, 12 sellers, 10 sellers, etc. And so this is a good indicator. There's a lot of sellers on here. Now let's take a look at this particular product. Now looking at this Keepa chart here, you can see that the price, if we look at the last year actually, the price has been fairly stable. It stays around this, 20 $20 to $25 price point for the most part. It did have a lot of sellers come on the listing here, and then those sellers started to sell out, and so that is leading to some potential profitable opportunities. You can see as well, if I zoom in, if it'll let me, there's 100 monthly sold recently, and then it just went down to 50. Okay, now that's not the exact amount, that's a minimum amount that's sold for this listing. So let's try to take a look for this. It's selling at about $22. We'd have to buy all three of these at, probably for under $10 right now. So we're going to look at this and see if we can find it. Okay, now I'm also going to make sure it's 7-ounce acrylic 4 medium worsted. I don't know what that is. I don't know anything about yarn, but I do like to use it as an example. All right, so this pulls up is actually on Amazon on Walmart specifically as a 3-pack. So let's see if we can find anything there. Also wanted to see if there are any other places that we can buy it from. It doesn't look like it. Maybe this from Ben Franklin online. Joanne might also have it. So we can take a look at that. But we're going to specifically, and it looks like Michaels may also have this. Let me open that one up. So here on Walmart, this is $11.47. That's probably too expensive for us to make a good profit on it. I'm going to open up the Amazon link so we can check that out. But as we're looking at this, I want to make sure it's the same. So it's number 4 worsted acrylic yarn. It is 364 yard. It's a 3-pack. This looks to be the same exact product. As we allow this to open, we got the number 4 yarn, 364 yards. So it does look to be the same product. Now I do want to make sure, let's see, at $21.99 is the current price point. Okay, now that we've got the Amazon listing up, you can see here that it is the number 4 yarn. It is 364 yards. So those things do match. This is selling for $11.47 right now on Walmart, and on Amazon, it's selling currently, the buy box is at $21.99. So this does not provide us a profitable price point right here. Now, this actually is a $2 profit loss. Now there are 11 FBA sellers on this. There are some things you could potentially do to reduce the price of this product if you needed to, but it wouldn't get us to a really good profitable price point just yet. You see here, this is the Keepa chart as well. But looking at this, this is an opportunity that I want to discuss, right? There are potential opportunities to sell above the buy box that people talk about. The problem is with this listing, you want to make sure that you're at least breaking even at the buy box price. So if this was a $0 or a $1 profit, I would probably recommend, due to the speed of this listing, trying to sell this at maybe $24.99 or $23.99 to increase your profit margins. But because there's no margin here, it's going to be very difficult to be able to be profitable with that. Now let's avoid this Walmart listing. Let's see if there's any other potential suppliers here. Again, I didn't do this ahead of time. I have no idea. This is not a good enough listing for me to be confident that we're getting the right product. This product here, let's see if they've even got coffee. If they do, it could be possibly good. 364 yards, 7 ounces. This is from Joanne. It looks like it's $269 each. So if we were to buy, if they do have it, we could go back here and do 269 times 3, and that's just at the current price point. So we would make $1.27 or 16% return on investment here if they've got the right color. And it looks like they're out of stock, probably due to this sale. Okay, now if this was in stock, it'd be great. Additionally, Joanne has different products or different discounts that you can also stack on these. Sometimes you can get cash back that could increase this by a certain amount, like 5, 10, 15%. You could also look for a discounted gift card to increase your profitability by 5 or 10%. And so that's one way that you can do it. Now, I don't know, I'm assuming coffee is not available here. Let's look at Browns. It does not seem to be. Let's see, yeah, these are all out of stock. So right now, these aren't in stock. It would be one, though, that I would want to pay attention to, just in case. But you could probably get this at a profitable price point if it were in stock, just from Joanne. And then the next one here was Michaels.com. This is all the yarns, so they may be out of that product that I just pulled up because I clicked it from the Google results and it said the coffee yarn, but ultimately it may not actually have that. But with Michaels, what's great about it is there's 30% you can save on regular price items. You can also earn rewards. You can get free shipping. So many other things that are a benefit to purchasing from Michaels in this particular case. So in this, I'm going to move on, right? Because that one was not profitable. But you can see it was a decent Keepa chart. We may have been able to find it profitably at Joanne, but it just wasn't in stock at the time. And Walmart was just a little bit too expensive here. Now let's take a look at this Bernat blanket yarn. What we typically like to see is anything that has a steady buy box price and has fluctuating sellers, a good amount of sales coming through. Now again, because these are fast moving products, it may be somewhat difficult to find them profitably on another supplier. But let's take a look at Bernat blanket yarn sand. It is a 1-pack selling for $16, it looks like. Let's see if we can pull back anything here. All right, now this is $10 on Walmart. Michaels does appear to have this, so I'm going to open that if that's available. This is $14 on Walmart, although it says Forever Fleece, and I believe this is just straight blanket yarn, so it is not fleece. And then this is Amazon. We've got a 2-pack on Amazon for $23.99, so that's interesting. This one is Office Supply, but it is not the same color. But let's take a look if that is if it does have the right color anywhere. Take a look at Michaels first. So this particular one shows $14.49, which is fairly high priced, I would say. You can get 25% off all regular price purchases when you sign up for the emails and texts. And I believe here right now they're running a 30% off coupon. And so for this particular one, let's see if there's anything we can do here. It's probably going to be a little bit too high priced, but it's always good to check, especially whenever you see Amazon selling at the same price as other sellers. That usually means that there's not a huge amount of price discrepancy there. Usually Amazon will sell it for much cheaper, and that's a whole different opportunity for Amazon to Amazon flips. But we would have to get this at a fairly good price point to make any money if it's selling at $17 right now. So that was an extension called Rakuten that looks for discounts. I want to see if that actually is $12.99 because the one that we looked at said $14.49. So it may be taking into consideration another discount or something else, but it's always good to check these things out. And keep in mind, if I wasn't training on these, this would be going a lot faster, okay? So I want you to be aware of that. Whenever I'm talking through these things, it goes a little bit slower, and obviously internet is a little bit slower whenever you're recording and doing other things as well. Now, this shows $12.99, but I believe if we were to look up yarn, it would probably change the price to the one that we already have, if that even exists. Oh, sorry, it's not yarn. It's sand. Okay, my bad. So sand, let's see, yep, changes it to $14.49. All right, now let's go back to the Amazon listing then, because we can get at least 30% off. $14.49 times 0.7. So that brings us down to $10.14. We'd have to get this at a really cheap price point. And right now, it's just not going to happen. We could probably save another 10 to 20%. We'd really have to get that thing moved down in price, and I don't believe that. Sometimes they'll do some really cool, like, buy one get one 50% off type of things, and so that can also help. But if you can stack discounts somewhere, if you get a good discounted gift card, but there's not that much room in this product at all to we'd have to buy it at even at $6 we're breaking even. Yeah, $6 we're breaking even, so that'd be a little bit tough. So we're going to move on from this one as well, and we're just going to keep going through these products that currently sell well on Amazon that have a fairly good price point, and see if we can find anything that's steady. Now, Amazon has not been on here. Sellers recently dropped down on this. Let's see if we can find this one, and this is a cone product, so we'll have to make sure we find that. $17.53 from Walmart. This is green cotton cone yarn chocolate ombre, I believe. $35.98 from Walmart in a 3-pack. May just be $16.49. Amazon's at $20. This is $14.90. It's not in the cone shape, so this is Michaels as well. So we would probably have to be looking at this $35.98, which would put you at about $12, and we do not have enough margin there at a $17 price point. Now, you could also try to look for wholesale opportunities, but it may be difficult because Walmart usually sells it for fairly cheap. So we're going to keep looking, right? This is just the process of, looking for products just consistently. And there's other things you can do with these, right? You can take a look at the competitors and who's selling these things. You can stalk their storefronts. You can do these to help you grow your opportunities on Amazon and different ASINs that you can purchase, right? Let's take a look for this one. This is a 3-pack, again, also selling at about $21, $22. Let's see if this actually pulls up anything. You have to get it for under $8, I would assume. It's $11.47 here. This is $3.38 at Walmart, $6.76 at Walmart. And let's see, are there any others? So to get this at Walmart in a 3-pack at $11.47, we would need to make it cheaper than that. See if we can find it any place else. So $4.99, that'd be $15. So we'd be looking at $11.47 right now at this one. I'm not even going to look at that because we know that's unprofitable. That's a quick way to kind of work through it. Let's see about this one. So this is selling for $16 usually. Caron's Simply Soft Yarn Solids 2-pack. Okay, it's a different color, but a lot of times with these, they'll be a completely different color that you can look at. See if we can find a different listing for this. You can see that's sold by a third-party seller by Agave Market. So this would be for a 1-pack here. And we're looking at, all right, so this is selling for $17. Looking at $5.99 right now. So this would be $12. Let me open up the Amazon listing, see if there's anything we can do with this. So if it was $12 for 2 of them, we could get the 30% off. See if that would be any good. No guarantee, obviously. You got 12 times 0.7. We would have to, this is break even right now. Okay, so some ways that you can utilize this to find some more discounts, right? There's the 9% in rewards. You could also look up cashbackmonitor.com, and you could look up Michael's. Okay, now Michael's has a 4% cashback right now, or 7% possibly, depending on the store. So Be Frugal has it at 3% or 8%. There's a little asterisk there, so I'm sure. So you get 3% additional cashback on that. And we can also look up, I'm going to go to cardbear.com, and we can look up to see if there's any discounts on Michael's products. There's 13% off with card cash. So we could save 13% on this cost. I'm going to go ahead and go back here, and let's see what that would end up being. So times point, we're going to go with 8.7 because we're saving 13%. So that makes us at $1.20 or 16% return on investment. And then you get cash back on top of that as well. So you've got some opportunity here to potentially make some money. It is currently selling at this $16.95 price point, and it has dropped down. But because of the amount of sales that happen on this listing, you actually could buy this at an okay price point. It would definitely be something that I would save too, and see if Michael's ever does drop the price. That is something that I would definitely want to at least save in a lead tracker of some sort, so we can kind of monitor the pricing for that. Sometimes they'll come out with a 40% off or something larger than that. So I would also then start looking at the other products on Amazon here to see if there's any other variations on this listing that are priced higher than $16.99. There may be, there may not be. And if they are really high priced, then they may be difficult to find, the actual supplier for it. But this one, for instance, doesn't sell a ton, but it does sell, it does get reviews, and it's at $24. So we're going to open that in a new tab. We'll start doing some rabbit trailing, so to speak, of these products and see if we can find this one. Are these on Michael's or another supplier? Anything above $16.99. So we know that's kind of a different price point. We're going to open these up, and there's a lot of these. Okay, so we would look at all the $19 ones, the $18 ones, etc., and see if we can find these anyplace else in terms of the color that we're looking for. Now this one is Sunshine, so we're gonna go back here, and keep in mind if we get over $50, then it would be free shipping as well. Let's see, is this Sunshine? That's gold. They may not have Sunshine. Let me go to the name here. Let's try Sunshine. Okay, so they don't have Sunshine, which is this one. Make sure it looks like gold to me, but so I wouldn't be surprised if some sellers are just buying the gold one and selling it on there, but that's not allowed on Amazon. This one is Woodland. And so we're going to see if they've got Woodland. Do not have Woodland. And then this one was Grape. Now, I did not see Grape in there. Let's see if we can find it anyplace. Okay, so what we would want to do then is start to look for, now purple is definitely a different color. We would want to look on Google for this as well. So we're going to look up Grape and see if we can find that anywhere. All right, so this $46.56 from Walmart. This is lavender. It says Grape for a 12-pack. For the Grape, right here, this is sold and shipped by Walmart. Karen Simply Soft, 315 yards, 6 ounces. We're going to come back to Amazon and take a look at that listing here. All right, so now that this is pulled up, we can see if we were to be able to buy this 12-pack and to actually split this up. So 46.56 divided by 12. Let's go ahead and go back here. 46.56 divided by 12 is 388 times 2. We're looking at $6.79 of profit, or 88% return on investment for this Simply Soft 6-ounce 2-pack of yarn. And so this one specifically is bought or sold and shipped by Walmart, so it checks out there. I would also look, this is Blue Mint, and this one's Watermelon. Let's see if those other ones also existed on Amazon for us to buy, but this is that product of the grape color with the exact same yarn that I can tell anyway. Okay, 6 ounce, 170 grams. And so if we're looking at this particular listing here, 6 ounce, 170 grams, and that is great. So that's just one of the listings. Now, it did recently jump up to this price point. You know, if you were to sell it at $16.32, let's see what that would return. If the price does drop back down to $16.32, you would be able to break even at that point. So you have some comfort with this particular product. Sometimes it's down at 16, sometimes it's up at 18, 19, $20. So it really just depends on where you're selling this at, but this would be an opportunity where you could do that. And so that's just one of them, right? Then you could come into here and you could start doing some analysis on competitors, right? You come into here, click into offers. You could look at historical offers and just look at the FBA only sellers. And you can see there are 15 different sellers that you could look at their storefronts. You could do some storefront stalking, or you could continue to look at the other variations, or you could find these two colors here and do some actual searching on Amazon. So this is just a way to speed up the process. We found one thing that may be profitable now that you may want to test, but there's other things as well that you can then start to piggyback off of. So I know I said this would be under 30 minutes, and you can use some of these methods to speed up your sourcing by using the Keepa Data Product Finder. I think we only went through 3 or 4 of these listings, and there's a bunch more that sell over 50 times a month that I would also be looking at. But ultimately, that's how you can start to speed up your process in an ungated category with the types of products that you would want to sell as an FBA seller. You've got multiple FBA sellers, you've got an ungated category, you typically have ungated brands, you have Michaels where you can stack discounts and other things, you've got Walmart as well that are selling these products from Walmart, you're not buying from a third-party seller. So many advantages here to really speed up your sourcing. And then you can take that data, you can store it in replendashboard.com to track all of your leads. You could then take that data and look at competitors, look at other listings, at the different things they're doing. You can take the ASINs and do a reverse ASIN search in Tactical Arbitrage or in Nepedo or in Arbitrage Hero or some of these other tools that exist. So many opportunities. Now, these are some of the things that I actually talk about in my Evergreen sourcing system training, which is a 2-month live training with over 60 sourcing systems that I provide, that I've used in my own business and that I've trained sellers on for a long time. And so if you're interested in checking out the Evergreen sourcing system program, you can head over to askjimmysmith.com/evergreen to find out when the next live class is going to be happening, or if you can check out, maybe a class that's already in progress that you can jump in on. All the links are going to be below and in the description. And if you're a seller doing over $5,000 per month in sales and you're looking to grow and scale your business multiple ways on different platforms and on Amazon, then apply to join my Business Building Legends community at askjimmysmith.com/legends. I hope this video helped you and blessed you. If you have any questions, post them down in the comments below. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a blessed rest of your week.